Greenhouse gas emissions are on course to be about 30% above the level needed to keep global warming to an internationally agreed target in 2030, the United Nations says. Without enhanced ambition, the likely global average temperature increase will be in the range of 3.032 C by the end of the century, UN Environment said as it issued its annual audit of emissions reductions. By 2030, annual emissions are likely to be 53.0555 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, far above the 42 billion ton threshold for averting a temperature rise of more than 2 C this century, the UN Environment Agency said. The latest projection, which assumes all countries meet their commitments, is slightly lower than the gap of 1,214 billion tons foreseen a year ago, reflecting new data on national emission reduction programs. The report said there was increasing evidence that carbon dioxide emissions from fossil fuels, cement production and other industrial processes remained stable for the past 3 years, largely due to slower growth in coal use in China and the U.S. But the trend could be reversed, and 8,090% of coal reserves must remain in the ground, it said. In 2015, 195 countries signed the Paris Climate Accord, pledging to limit global warming to well below 2 C above pre-industrial times. Ministers will meet in Bonn in November to work on guidelines for the agreement. A harder target of keeping warming to within 1.5 C would mean a further reduction of about 5 billion tons of emissions. The UN said on Monday that the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere grew at record rate in 2016 to a level not seen for millions of years, potentially fueling a 20 meters rise in sea levels and adding 3 C to temperatures. The Paris Agreement is already under pressure because President Donald Trump has said he plans to pull the U.S. out of the deal unless there is a renegotiation more favorable to Washington.